What's going on, everybody? Karate Kid Fanatics back here again. Today we got another very special guest, Varsity Captain David, Jesse Kove. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. So yeah, like when did you decide you wanted to get into this industry?
Started when I was I was making movies when I was really young with my dad, traveling around on set, stuff like that. I mean, I didn't really get into it professionally, probably till I was about 17. My dad never pushed me to be in it. I just kind of, I was always in like the film classes at school. I was always in like, the high school plays and things like that. So it was always in my life. I just never really decided like, oh, like I'm going to start, this is going to be my job until I was probably about 17.
Yeah. So when you got the audition for Cobra Kai, did you know that it was going to be like? Did you have a character name at that point, or was it just like a regular audition?
I'm trying to think. I think that it was Varsity Captain David, and we weren't sure if that was, like a fake name or an alias name for something else, and because I knew it had to do with Young Cree, so I wasn't sure exactly. They kind of were a little bit hidden with it, and then when I got in the audition room, they kind of explained to me what the whole thing really was, and so that helped out a lot. And I just basically went in there, and I basically told them, I was like, "How big of an asshole do you guys want him to be?" And they were
Yeah.
like, "All the way." And I was like, "Got it."
Yeah. So yes, speaking of that, did y'all film that at actual diner or was that just like on a set?
That was an actual diner that they took over for the couple days. They brought all the cars in and everything down there in Atlanta.
Yeah, so speaking of cars, what was it like to get to drive Ralph's car from the Karate Kid?
Oh, it was awesome. I didn't know that that was happening until literally the day of. Josh Heald pulled me aside. He's like, "Yeah, we got this little Easter egg here." I was like, "Wait, what? This is crazy."
Yeah.
I have this great video on my Instagram of me driving the car, and, like fitting in it and everything. And
So in this scene, I get to drive the original Miyagi Karate Kid Ford. Incredible. It's a trip.
it was cool, man. It was like really kind of it was an interesting, part of my life because that movie was like, that car was special to Karate Kid, the original Karate Kid. Obviously my dad was in that. So it's kind of like, oh, this car has like been around and it's like time machine. So it was pretty cool, man. I was really grateful. And it was like, it was a very special moment.
Yeah, speaking of your dad, what was it like to get to bully, the past of him, I guess you would say?
I loved it, man. It was unique and cool. And he was watching while we were doing it, which was kind of crazy, to have him watch me bully the younger version of him. It's like this surreal universe. It was very strange and cool all at the same time. And it was also like really special. Like everybody who was on set, the crew, like they just loved what we were doing that day. So it was a cool thing to experience.
Yeah, so was that was not your first period piece though, because you also were in the D-Day movie as well.
Yep, I was in D-Day. I also did a movie before that with Joseph Fiennes called On Wings of Eagles, big World War II movie. Probably the biggest movie I've ever done. It was a massive movie. We shot that in China for like 3 months.
Yeah, so going forward, what's the type of role you'd like to do that you haven't got to do yet?
I haven't done sci-fi yet, like going to space or something like that. So that would be cool, space exploration. I would absolutely love to do a Western. And I'd also like to do something like, I don't know, like the medieval times.
Yeah, so for your fight scene in season three, was that you or did you have a stunt double for any of that?
So they had a stunt double on standby. I really try to be as realistic as I can. And, proudly, I didn't need to use him. And I even like, throughout the day, I was like, dude, I'm sorry that like you're here and you're not being used. He's like, no, man. He's like, the fact that you're doing this and I'm not here, it just makes my job easier. And it's it's great. And I said, I was like, he looked just like me. It was really funny. And, I wanted to make sure that, and everything they did was, really well choreographed. So I didn't feel unsafe or anything like that. Plus I just like this stuff. Like it was great action. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's a part of my job. And I just really wanted to get in there. And, Barrett, who played young Kreese, we jumped into that ring together and it was awesome.
Yeah, so speaking of that scene as well, what was it like, having to film the Betsy scene where you like smacked her?
that was funny because every take I was like, "Ugh." I'm sorry, I really don't want to do this to you. And she's like,
Yeah.
no, it's okay, do it. And then we do the smack. But yeah, it was a brutal. That obviously I would never do that in real life, but for the character, it looked pretty bad because it's just what he was doing at the time.
Yeah, so like how do you prepare yourself, for like a role like that to get into that type of mindset?
It's really just about doing the scenes over and over again out loud, moving your body and getting into it and figuring out why they act this way. I had this backstory of like, varsity Captain David's dad was probably really hard on him and always telling him to win. And, that's why he's always like, he says in there, you can't show the opponent mercy. It's probably something maybe his dad said to him. And, for him, like, his football was his life and like, he just couldn't, and he was just kind of, maybe he was probably taking off examples of his dad. Maybe he saw his dad unfortunately hit his mom or something. So he just thinks that that's normal. Stuff like that. You just kind of feel it out and see what works best. And then you have creative talks with like the directors and stuff. And you got these guys collaborate.
Yeah, so I know even if you do know, you can't say anything about it, but what do you think about the return of Terry Silver?
It's a great addition to the story. I've known about it for a while, and it's when they finally put that promo out, it was just great for people to see him return, and I think that what people are going to really enjoy, is just seeing what unfolds with him. I obviously I can't say much, but it's a cool thing, and I'm very excited for people to see it, and I think that this this season 4, which comes out in December, I think people are just going to be blown away.
Yeah, what was kind of crazy about you, being in season 3 is I saw an interview with you like 3 days before talking about the season coming out. Then like 4 o'clock in the morning, a couple of days later, I see you on there. That's crazy.
I was literally, I remember that. I was talking about, and then they were asking all these questions, and I literally could say nothing that I was involved in the season. So it was kind of funny. And then I literally interviewed with him again, and he was like, "You totally duped me," and I was like, "I'm sorry, man. Like I couldn't say anything."
Yeah. So speaking of season 3, what was your favorite moment of season 3?
It's great. I mean, listen, my stuff was awesome. I was so grateful for all my stuff. My favorite moment was the last 10 minutes of season 3, the finale. You see my dad, fighting Johnny and fighting Ralph, which I think everybody has been wanting to see since the beginning of Karate Kid. And then, taking them on. He's he's a tough son of a bitch. Excuse my French.
Oh, you're good.
And and then having the flashback sequences cut in between that is genius. You really felt for John Kreese. You really understood where he came from and what that's all about. And then my stuff is incorporated in that backstory as well, which is just such a powerful piece to this whole saga of Karate Kid.
Yeah, going back to D-Day, what was it like working with Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture?
They're great guys. They're I actually have a huge poster for the movie up on my wall here. They're great guys, super fun. You think these guys are because they're fighters, they're always they're quick and everything, but they're so chill and they're just really down to earth, and they're almost kind of quiet. You wouldn't believe it. And they're just really great guys. They love what they do.
Yeah, I liked your dad's cameo in that movie. That was pretty cool.
Thank you, man. What happened was he came to set, and I was talking to the writer, Jeff Mead, and I was like, dude, you got to just throw my dad in here somewhere. He'll do it for free. Like, he just loves period pieces. We love to work together. He's like, really? Would your dad really do that? And I was like, yeah, of course. And so they came up with this great sequence. My dad helped write a little bit, and then we worked it out. It was like this beautiful, beautiful moment.
Yeah, it was cool. Like you sitting there talking about Joe DiMaggio, and the Yankees.
Yeah. So my dad actually came up with that part, the Joe DiMaggio stuff. He came up with that, and then the cigar bit and everything, and yeah, it just worked out beautifully. I thought it was a nice little, a special. It was always a special moment for my dad and I to do stuff like that, especially like a period piece or he's dying. So it was it was really. I love to look back at that scene every now and then.
Yeah. So for you, what is your favorite Karate Kid movie?
I would have to say 1. I think 1 is really obviously the best. I think it's the inception of the whole thing. It's how it all started. I think 2 is good. I 3 is also fun too. You got Terry Silver and the whole stuff with my dad and Terry, and it's just, I think it's a lot of fun, and the saga just continues, and obviously people wanted to see more of that. So it's I'm excited for people to see what's to come.
I know you probably can't say much about it, but can you give us anything about the Taste of Love movie?
Yeah, great movie. Erin Cahill, we played love interest in the film. Just such a wonderful, wonderful actress and such a delight to be around. She was, it's a great story with her. She's basically is a famous TV chef in Atlanta, and she comes back home to Dunedin, Florida, and I'm her old, ex-boyfriend from like childhood and a few years before that, and she sees me again, and we kind of rekindle our relationship, and there's a little bit of drama, and she ends up competing in a competition to help her family with their restaurant, and her and I fall in love, and drama ensues, and so it's a really, really beautiful story. I'm very proud of that movie, and my dad's in it as well, which worked out incredibly well, and we just had a blast. I literally just got back into town a few days ago. I just loved it. It was one of those movies where you don't want it to end. We were having such a good time.
Yeah, there's 3 Cobra Kai members in there, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Susan Gallagher was great. It was awesome to work with her. She was, again, also a delight, and we just thought it was hilarious that all these people from Cobra Kai were in this movie.
Yeah, so for you, what is your favorite project you've got to be on so far? Or
for sure, Cobra Kai is up there. D-Day is really a special movie that I put a lot of heart and soul into. I was really connected to that film, with the subject matter of these, these war heroes. So that one, I put a lot of love into that. I was really proud of how that movie turned out. So that's definitely one of them as well.
Yeah, I was looking at some of your upcoming projects. So is there any other upcoming projects you can talk about?
Yeah, there's another one. They keep changing the title because the title wasn't right now. I think it's an absolute abduction or something like that. I think they'll probably change it again. I'm waiting for the trailer to drop for that soon, which will be great. That one, and then, God, I feel like there's so many. I'm going to New York to do another project. I'm supposed to go to Vegas to do another romantic comedy, which will be very funny. That's with John Lovitz. And then also, what else is there? Taste of Love, we covered that. And then, yeah, those are the ones for now. I swear I'm missing 1 or 2.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm really grateful. It's been a busy year for me.
Yeah, I was looking at that one you're talking about the name because I see My Daughter's Deadly Date, and then it changes. I was trying to look at it on IMDb.
But they'll come up with it at some point. That it was I think originally it was called Recipe for Abduction, and then they changed it to an absolute abduction. So we'll see. But that's a fun one. Really excited for people to see that.
Yeah. So for you, do you prefer to film TV or movies?
I love them both. I think film is nice because you have the start, you kind of go through it, and then it ends, and there's a perfect there's just this perfect space from start to finish that you get, and then which is nice because it's nice to kind of go in there with what you've created and then step away and go into another one. But then with television, it'd be nice to really kind of sit with a character for maybe a few years, like a character in Cobra Kai or something, and be with that and watch this character develop over time and be able to be with that character for a while would be really exciting.
Yeah, so this is kind of a funny question. What do you think about Eagle Fang?
By blood, I have to hate it. Yeah. I think Johnny is Cobra Kai at heart and always will be. But I think it's going to be exciting for people to see what Eagle Fang brings to the table. Yeah,
the only thing I didn't kind of like about it, I just wish I could have seen a little bit more of Johnny and Chris teamed up together, but
yeah, I mean, again, I can't say too much, but I think for the story and creatively, I think, pulling on everybody's heartstrings and the separation and joining together. And, I think it's like a soap opera, man. It's going to keep going back and forth and, who knows where it goes. But I obviously love seeing them together as well.
Yeah, speaking of Comic-Cons, I met Ralph, Billy, and your dad a few years back. I can't wait, especially with the move to Netflix, it's going to be so much bigger now.
Oh, huge. I mean, even the little teaser they dropped yesterday was just a great little piece. And I think my dad put out one today of a solo one of him, which was just so cool. So yeah, a lot of really exciting things in store for everybody.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be at some of them too. I don't think you were at the one that I went to, but
Where was that?
Raleigh 2018. It was right after the season 1 release. So
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember when they did that. I'm actually going to one with him. He's meeting me there. In where is it? We're going into Philadelphia. It's Monster Mania in New Jersey, which will be really. That's actually next weekend. So I'm really excited to meet some fans there, and it's going to be one of the first Comic Cons that's been open since all this. So it's going to be great to see. It's great to see the fans.
yeah, I might have to try to make the drive up there then. That's not too
Where
far.
are you? Where are you? Where?
North Carolina.
Oh, it's not that far. It's not bad.
Yeah, if I don't have no, yeah, I might have to make the drive up there then, see if there's still some tickets available.
Yeah, I think Billy will be there too. So you definitely got some good Cobra Kai up there.
Yeah, get to meet them again, get to meet you or something.
Dude, absolutely.
Yeah, so speaking of like the acting industry, what do you think's the most challenging part for you? Like
Most challenging. I think it's really just being able to kind of shut off everything and focus on your character and the script. There's so much time and energy that goes into that, and once you can just kind of put everything aside and just jump in, you're so free to do what you want to do. For me personally, I find it hard sometimes for me to kind of close out everything and just be there. I do it obviously, but it definitely takes a little bit of effort. There's a lot going on in my life, so. It's when you're busy, same thing with my dad. He's extremely busy. So for him to just be able to sit down sometimes and just, have a cigar, read a script, it's like you got to plan it out, and I think that's part of it. Luckily a lot of stuff's being done from home right now, so that's a little bit easier. That's one aspect of it. And then also just continuing I like to challenge myself with the craft, trying to find new ways to make it more interesting and challenge yourself to really push yourself as an actor. I never want to stay in a plateau. I'm always wanting to change and develop and be better as much as I can.
Yeah, so what was that move from YouTube to Netflix like for you and I guess your family?
Let's see. For the family, well, I mean, we were very excited. I think the move to Netflix was great because obviously they have a lot more eyes watching, and I think it's just more accessible for people in their homes because everybody's got Netflix pretty much. And just having Netflix is a great company. Having their support behind the show has really been a huge game changer. YouTube was great because they were the inception of the show. They gave the show its legs, and I think the show, Cobra Kai, I think was almost like too big to fall. So it had to be somewhere where they could take that and really just give it its wings. And I think Netflix was the right place to do that. And they're very excited to have the show. So it's really a win-win for everybody.
Have you created any type of backstory for your character in Cobra Kai?
Yeah, we talked about it a little earlier about, the stuff with my dad and I mean, my character's dad, maybe being hard on him and that stuff with the football and all that.
Did they ever determine what position he was or anything, or did they never really?
No, they never did. But I think I had created that he was the quarterback.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like. But yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on. It's great to be able to speak with you today.
Oh man, my pleasure, absolutely. And good luck with everything. Hopefully, I'll see you in New Jersey. And I just love all your memorabilia, man. That's fantastic.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, thank you.
You take care, man. No mercy, brother.
You too. No mercy.